News update with Steve and Carol. Good morning, Steve.
Hello, Catherine.
We're going to start off with the World Bank. Now, they've been looking into the potential economic impact of the Ebola outbreak.
Yeah, of course, we know that more than 3,800 people have died as a result of Ebola in West Africa. The World Bank, though, has been looking at the consequences that's had on the economies in the region. They say it could have a potentially catastrophic effect, in fact, on West Africa. It estimates that the hit to the West African economies could total almost $33 billion by the end of next year if the spread of Ebola isn't contained. That's, to give you an idea, around 15 times the size of the Liberian economy. So a huge amount of money to be talking about. The World Bank says that if the virus is contained within the next 6 months, that economic effect could be reduced to under $4 billion. The Washington-based lender has already provided some $400 million worth of financial support to those countries affected by Ebola. They've already estimated that Ebola has cost Liberia and Guinea more than $110 million each.
Absolutely enormous costs and ramifications in all different senses, aren't there, of this outbreak. Let's move on with a look through what's happening on the markets.
Yeah, after the big gains that we saw on Wall Street on Wednesday, more mixed picture in trading in Asia today. The Nikkei in Tokyo and the Shanghai Composite, both, as you can see, the Nikkei in Tokyo, I'll tell you rather, has closed down 0.75%. The Hang Seng and the Shanghai Composite both seeing gains today. In Japan, one of the gainers during trading there was the group Fast Retailing, which owns the clothing chain Uniqlo. Their shares were up almost 2% in trading ahead of their results. No trading, though, in Seoul today. The South Korean markets are closed for a public holiday.
OK, now we've got a story about an Indian company, Mahindra and Mahindra, investing in a French company, a scooter manufacturer, but it's cause for concern.
Yeah, for the workers at Peugeot Citroën's scooter division, which is the world's oldest manufacturer of scooters, they're worried about the 51% stake that Mahindra and Mahindra has taken in their firm. Now, it's a much-needed boost for Peugeot Scooters division, which has been struggling with massive debts, but workers at the company's French plants are worried that their moves will see their jobs threatened. Here's Shirley Sitman.
Mahindra is about to take over the world's oldest scooter maker, Peugeot Motorcycles, planning to buy a 51% stake. The French company's employees fear production may eventually be transferred to India.
We expected them to buy stakes, but not 51% of the company. We now think that our company production here could disappear.
They might need some of us to get our know-how, but will they keep us all? The future of the site is at stake.
For executives at Peugeot Scooter Unit, the deal could save the company, which has 89 million euros of debt. The $16.5 billion Mahindra Group will inject 15 million euros into the French factory. It will also help it penetrate the Indian market.
The emerging markets we're targeting with Mahindra scooters in this project represent 90% of the world scooter market.
With the merger, Mahindra Scooter Unit will get access to Peugeot's technology. The Indian brand hopes that technology will help it compete at home with bigger local rivals, Honda and Hero MotoCorp.
A quick look now at some of the day's companies' news, and up to 12 other financial firms may have been targeted by the same hackers as the US bank JPMorgan. The Wall Street Journal says investigators probing that attack have found similar intrusions were made on firms including Citigroup and HSBC, although no data is believed to have been taken in those attacks. JPMorgan admitted the details of more than 80 million of its customers had been accessed by hackers. And shares in the clothing retailer Gap fell by more than 8% in after-hours trading after the company announced its chief executive and chairman is stepping down. Ben Murphy will resign in February after more than 7 years at the helm of the company. He'll be replaced by its digital chief, Art Peck.
All right, Gap is a pretty well-known brand, isn't it? But what do you think is the most valuable one in the world? Well, Stephen has the answer.
The answer is Apple. For another year, it's topped Interbrand's Global Brands survey as the most valuable brand in the world. According to their study, Apple increased its value over the past year by more than a fifth to almost $120 billion. That's followed by Google in second place, the value of $107 billion. Interbrand calculates these figures based on the company's financial performance, how its brand influenced consumers, and also the price that those brands can command. Let's take a look at how the top 5 shaped up. As you can see, it's completed by Coca-Cola, IBM and Microsoft. For the first time this year, Chinese companies entered the top 100 brands. That's the mobile phone manufacturer Huawei. And Facebook has seen the biggest rise up the rankings. Its value increased 86%, according to Interbrand, putting it in 29th place.
There you go, one for the marketing students among our viewers. Thanks very much, Stephen Carroll. Back in about an hour's time with more business news for you. We're going to move on now with a look at what's making